You are taught that the gods were myths. You are told that the monsters hiding in the dark, the catastrophic floods, and the legendary wars of heroes were nothing more than bedtime stories designed to frighten children. But what if your history books have been lying to you? What if the monsters were real, and the blood they spilled is still buried under the earth? Welcome to the dark truth of human history. For centuries, modern science laughed at the ancient myths, dismissing them as the wild imagination of primitive minds, but recently archaeologists have dug too deep. From the ash-covered ruins of ancient cities to the frozen graves of female warriors, they have unearthed a terrifying reality. The legends are not fiction, they are history. Today, we are opening the vault. We will explore 10 ancient legends that science completely dismissed until they found the physical proof. Prepare to have your reality shattered. Number 1. The City of Troy. For thousands of years, the Trojan War was considered the ultimate myth, a 10-year siege triggered by the kidnapping of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen. A war where gods fought alongside mortals, ending in the slaughter of an entire civilization through the deception of a wooden horse. Historians called Homer's Iliad a beautiful piece of ancient fiction. But in the 1870s, an obsessed German businessman named Heinrich Schliemann decided to take the myth literally. Using the Iliad as his map, he dug into a mound in modern-day Turkey. What he found shocked the academic world. Not only did he find Troy, but he found multiple Troys built on top of each other. The layer known as Troy Sevena showed devastating signs of a brutal war, fire, and human slaughter dating right back to the Bronze Age. The myth of Achilles and Hector was born on a very real blood-soaked battlefield. Number 2. The Minotaur's Labyrinth. The story is the stuff of nightmares. A half-man, half-bull monstrosity kept deep inside a dark, inescapable maze beneath the island of Crete, fed with the flesh of Athenian youth until the hero Theseus slaughtered it. Pure fantasy, right? Wrong. In the early 20th century, archaeologist Arthur Evans excavated the ancient city of Knossos on the island of Crete. He uncovered a massive, sprawling palace complex with hundreds of interconnected windowless rooms, twisting corridors, and blind alleys. It was so confusing that any stranger would instantly be lost. Furthermore, the walls were covered in dark, blood-red frescoes depicting the bull-leaping ritual, a deadly sport where young acrobats dodged the horns of massive charging bulls. The palace was the real labyrinth, and the terrifying bull worship was the dark truth behind the Minotaur. Number 3. The Amazon Warriors. Greek mythology is filled with tales of the Amazons, a fierce, bloodthirsty tribe of women who rode horses, fired arrows with lethal accuracy, and fought against the greatest heroes like Heracles and Achilles. For centuries, male historians dismissed them as a psychological projection of Greek men, a myth to keep Athenian women in their place. But the frozen steppes of Eurasia held a different truth. In recent years, archaeologists excavating ancient Scythian burial mounds in Russia and Ukraine found the graves of heavily armed female warriors. These women were buried with battle axes, spears, and arrows. Many of their skeletons showed horrific battle scars, slashed ribs, and arrowheads embedded in their bones. DNA analysis confirmed their gender. The Amazons were not a myth. They were the terrifyingly real warrior women of the steppe. Number 4. The Kraken. Norse sailors whispered in terror of a monstrous, many-armed leviathan that could rise from the black depths, wrap its massive tentacles around the hull of a galleon, and drag the screaming crew down to a watery grave. Science wrote it off as the hallucination of drunk, scurvy-ridden sailors. But the ocean is deep, and it hides its monsters well. In the 19th and 20th centuries, massive carcasses began washing up on shores, and deep-sea cameras finally captured the truth. The giant squid, Archaeologists, is a real predator that can grow up to 43 feet long, with eyes the size of dinner plates and razor-sharp beaks. While it may not pull down a modern cruise ship, to a Viking in a wooden longboat in the dead of night, the giant squid was the Kraken. Number 5. The Oracle of Delphi. In ancient Greece, the most powerful kings and emperors would not go to war without consulting the Pythia, the high priestess of Apollo at Delphi. She would enter a dark, subterranean chamber, breathe in the divine breath of the gods rising from the earth, and fall into a frenzied trance to deliver prophecies. Modern scholars thought this was just theatrical trickery or religious manipulation. However, geological surveys in the late 1990s discovered 2 hidden fault lines intersecting directly beneath the ruins of the Delphic temple. These fissures were emitting ethylene, a sweet-smelling gas that, in enclosed spaces, causes severe hallucinations, altered mental states, and trances. The oracle wasn't faking it. She was being heavily drugged by the earth itself. Number 6. The Griffin, a terrifying beast with the body of a lion, the head and wings of an eagle, and claws that could rip a man in half. The ancient Greeks claimed these monsters guarded mountains of gold in the desolate regions of Scythia. How could archaeology confirm a creature composed of 2 different animals? The answer lies in paleontology. In the Gobi Desert, exactly where the ancients said the griffins lived, scientists found massive fossil graveyards of the Protoceratops. This dinosaur had a lion-sized body, 4 legs, and a terrifying bird-like beak. When ancient gold miners stumbled upon these massive skeletons weathering out of the sand, they didn't know what a dinosaur was. They saw a monster with a beak and 4 legs, and the legend of the griffin was born from the bones of the dead. Number 7. The Viking Berserkers. The sagas describe terrifying Norse warriors who fought in an uncontrollable, trance-like fury. They wore bear skins, howled like wild animals, felt no pain, and bit their shields in bloodlust. Enemies believed they were possessed by demonic magic or the spirit of Odin himself. Science has a darker, more chemical explanation. Archaeologists excavating Viking settlements have found large quantities of henbane, a highly toxic psychoactive plant. When ingested in small doses, it causes intense rage, visual hallucinations, and an absolute inability to feel pain. The Berserkers were not using magic. They were the ancient world's most terrifying drug-fueled shock troops, turning themselves into monsters before stepping onto the battlefield. Number 8. The Ebu Gogo. On the Indonesian island of Flores, local folklore spoke of a race of tiny, hairy people who lived in caves, stole crops, and murmured in a strange language. They called them the Ebu Gogo, which translates to the grandmother who eats everything. Anthropologists assumed it was just a localized myth, akin to leprechauns or fairies. But in 2003, in a limestone cave on that exact island, archaeologists uncovered the remains of an entirely new human species, Homo floresiensis. They were only 3.5 feet tall, with small brains and large feet. They lived on the island until roughly 50,000 years ago, sharing the land with modern humans. The myth of the little people wasn't a fairy tale. It was a surviving racial memory of another human species. Number 9. The Great Flood. Almost every ancient culture on Earth, from the Epic of Gilgamesh to the Greek myth of Deucalion, tells the story of a catastrophic world-ending flood sent by angry gods. Marine geologists exploring the Black Sea discovered ancient coastlines and human settlements deep underwater. Around 7,000 years ago, the Mediterranean Sea broke through the Bosporus Strait with the force of 200 Niagara Falls, violently drowning hundreds of miles of inhabited land. For the people living there, it was the end of the world. And finally, number 10, the destruction of Sodom. Ancient texts describe a wicked city utterly annihilated by fire and brimstone raining down from the heavens. Today, archaeologists are excavating an ancient city known as Tal el-Hammam. They found pottery melted into glass and mud bricks blasted into oblivion. The temperatures required to cause this destruction are hotter than the surface of the sun. A massive cosmic airburst, an asteroid exploding in the atmosphere, annihilated the city in a fraction of a second. The wrath of the gods was a very real cosmic cataclysm. We are living on the graves of ancient mysteries, and science is finally admitting that the myths were right. But this brings up a terrifying question. If the Minotaur's labyrinth was real, if the Amazon warriors actually spilled blood, and if the Great Flood truly happened, what else is waiting to be found? If science is confirming these ancient legends, does that mean the gods themselves were real beings? Or were they just ancient humans with forgotten technology? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll be pinning the most brutal debate. We have just scratched the surface of the ancient world. Where should our journey take us next week? Do you want to see the terrifying power hierarchy of the Norse gods? Or should we uncover the dark truth of the Celtic Fae? Cast your vote in the comments right now.